Yo, what's good people? Today we're going to be doing another review. Today we're going to be reviewing the ASI VM6R arcade stick case. Now, I don't really review arcade stick cases, but I thought it's so good and the quality of life features are so sick that it just needs a kind of mini review of its own. It's so sick. It's beautiful. The quality of life features are amazing. So we are going to actually review this lever. We're going to talk about quality of life. We're just going to talk about how easy it is to operate and mod, because really I use the Itoki Omni as one of my main sticks, right? So I am trying to get rid of it because I just think it's very outdated and very cumbersome to use now, especially how arcade sticks have kind of evolved. You know, we've got more buttons on the top plate. We've got more quality of life features. We've got more features within the case. So the Itoki Omni is very basic. It's heavy, it's bulky, it's annoying to use, it's annoying to mod, right? It has 7 screws on the back plate, so it's very annoying to get into a mod. We're going to talk about the VM6R because the VM6R is my endgame arcade stick case, and you're going to see why. The quality of life features are insane. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Liking will help with the algorithm, commenting will also help with the algorithm, and subscribing will let me know that you enjoyed the content. Let's get into it. I'm going to head to the big screen so you can see what I'm talking about, and we're just going to run through some things. So I have silver accents, so I have a silver handle, right? I have the silver kind of mirror finish in the iris technology. So this circle kind of construction is called the iris part, and this is called the lollipop part. So I have in the lollipop part, I have all silver parts, silver mirror finish, and then a silver accent around it, right? So you can actually change this to be gold, and I'm going to show you the gold parts and the engraved parts because the gold parts are actually engraved with stuff that I chose. But I just thought that with this color configuration, with the Sakura gamer fingers, with the embed kind of clear art caps on the gamer fingers, and then the pink flash tap, I just thought the silver looked a bit better than gold. I think gold clashed a little bit. So we're just going to touch upon the layout a little bit. So the layout is actually a cross-up layout, but it's with 24mm buttons. I think on the ASI website, now we are going to check out the ASI website in a little bit, but on the ASI website, this layout is called the S24 Extra, right? So this gives you a cross-up layout. So you've got your 8 attack buttons as normal. So those are the Sakura buttons, and then the clear embed art cap gamer finger buttons, so these 4, right? Those you can kind of program to be whatever you want. Now with cross up, they are directions. They're supposed to be left, down, right, up, but I think I'm gonna use this as up, or I might use this as R3 and then use this as up, down, left, right, or something like L3 R3 left, down, right. I might do that. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. But again, this is the beauty of kind of arcade modding and layouts like this. You can assign whatever function to a button, which is what I like. I like to mess around with layouts and setups and stuff. So this case is really sick. Now, the one thing that you can do is, because this case is a modular, you can actually just take off this whole top panel and replace it with a new layout. So what I mean by that is, you see how this top panel has 6 screws, right? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unscrew these. Obviously, you will have to take out these buttons, right? Because majority of the time, because they will be wired, so you need to obviously take off the back plate, unwire them, take the buttons out, take this whole top plate off and replace it. What do I mean by top plate? I'm going to show you. So this is another top plate that I have from ASI. Now, as you can see, it doesn't have as many button holes, right? So it has these 8 attack buttons, and then it has, I think these are supposed to be L3 and R3, right? So it has your L3 and R3 holes. It has your, I assume this is supposed to be jump or some other function, but then obviously you have your 8 attack buttons, right? But if I wanted to plug this back in, all I need to do is just take these screws out and then pull it out and then slot that other top plate in and screw it down. Super easy. And I feel like the modularity of the case really is a kind of arcade stick modder's dream. I feel like this is an end game case, and for me, this is my case for life now. Because it's so modular, I can just change stuff if I want in the future. So that's why I really like this case. That's the layout covered. Now I want to just touch upon the iris part really quickly. So the iris part is sick because, first of all, a lot of cases either come in a Japanese configuration, which this is right now. So this hole is 24mm, right? But we all know if we want to use a full collar lever, we need to use a 35mm hole, which is a bigger hole, right? With this kind of iris technology, you can change this clear piece and then the mirror piece underneath to 35mm to accommodate full collar Korean levers, which I think is really sick. If you don't want to use a lever, you can actually take off this whole configuration and plug in a WASD, so like a mixed box style. So you can do that as well. It's so sick. The options and the modularity of this case are amazing. And of course, yes, you can do a leverless build as well. If you're wondering, can I do leverless? Yes, you can turn this into a leverless build as well, which is crazy. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some extra parts that I got. As I said before, I switched the parts or the accent pieces to silver, but I'm going to show you the gold parts and the engravings. Okay, so this bag has a lot of parts. As you can see, there's a lot of gold parts. So just going to show you Lollipop Piece, which is interesting because they give you different size lollipops, and I'm going to explain why, which is really, really sick. Let's describe the lollipop and what that means and why there's different sizes. So this lollipop piece, obviously if you want to change it to gold, you can, but this piece in this bag is a bit thinner. As you can see, this kind of piece here is thinner than this piece, and this is to accommodate different size buttons, because the flash tabs, for example, they sit in very nicely in this thicker build, but they would be loose in this one. So this is to accommodate for more stuff, which is really, really well thought out by the ASI team. I think thinking of things like that and nuance within button sizes and button kind of housing sizes. Like for example, the gamer fingers sit very nicely. Sometimes different buttons will sit loosely. Some buttons will not be easy to kind of put in and will need like a bigger opening, because, you know, case manufacturers can't accommodate for every button, and there's a lot of variance in button sizes. So yeah, the fact that they thought of that is really sick. As I was saying before, this handle I changed to silver, right? Just because I thought it matched the kind of aesthetic a little bit more. But I do have the gold handle here as well. And they are very solid metal pieces, very, very solid. And the gold handle has inspirational engraved. And this is a play on my old Steam name because it was inspirational finesse. And now it's SOCD finesse. So you will see either finesse or inspirational engraved on the gold parts. So this, again, solid metal, very solid construction. But yeah, you can get different parts in either gold or silver. If you're good at DIY, you can just spray paint them yourself, to be honest. This piece that sits below the plexi, the clear plexi. So I have also finesse engraved. So you see how it says finesse engraved, and you can get anything you want engraved as well, which is cool. But again, that's just kind of reiterating the point that if you want to change the look of your VM6R, you can do. And it honestly does change the look a lot. Going from silver to gold changes the look quite dramatically. You can also change the look with different color top plates. So you can get this top plate in a different color. You can get this top plate in a different color. You can get everything in a different color. So I believe you can get transparent, you can get white or black, and you can mix and match if you choose to do so. So there's a lot of customization that comes with the VM6R as well. So that's why I like it, because I can really configure it to how I like my sticks to look, right? So it's sick in that regard. I think this construction on the back, like this back plate, this bottom plate, is ridiculous. Now, first of all, these anti-slip pads are the best anti-slip pads you will ever try. It just completely blows all the other anti-slip material out of the water, to be honest, because I'm not sure what they're using. It's some sort of rubber. It has so much grip that it's insane. Like, I used to use, you know, the thin foam pads that a lot of arcade sticks use, but it just doesn't come close to these hexed rubber kind of grips. I'm not sure what this material is. I believe it's just rubber, but I'm not sure what type of rubber it is. It's some super glue rubber at this point, because this, on any surface, on clothes, on wood, on marble, it just doesn't move. It's so sick. So that out of the way, this construction here, so you can see there's 4 kind of slots, right? And you can just remove it very easily with no screws. See these 4 connection points. So again, if I want to just fasten it, that's it. It's on, and it's sturdy. It doesn't fall off. It's kind of the perfect staying force, to be honest. It's very, very good. This honeycomb kind of construction allows you to have different top plates on the top. So because it has so many different cutouts in the housing itself, you can change the options. So even if you didn't want to have a cross-up layout and you just wanted the 8 attack buttons here, right, you could do that with a different top plate, and it's already accommodated for in the housing, which is amazing, right? So that's why I like this case so much, is because it's so interchangeable. If I don't want to have this layout anymore, I could just change it with one top plate. I don't need to get another lever. I don't need to build anything else. All I need to do is just get another top plate and slap it on. That is it. And it's easy to take out and drop back in, right? So yeah, that's why I like it. Let's look at the lever bed. So this lever bed is amazing because it just allows levers to just slot in. Now, one thing that does annoy me with certain cases is that depending on the lever you have, you need to line up the screw holes with the mounting plate, and it was very annoying to get the lever to be dead center. The Itoki Omni is very annoying to get perfectly in the middle. With this, because there's kind of like a, I'm gonna see if I can show you what I mean, but there's like a ridge, right? So it's kind of there's a bit of razivity around the edge, and that allows levers to be fastened easily. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to get the new OSAN lever, right? So we've got it here, and a review will be coming, or it might release before this, to be honest. I'm not sure, but definitely do stay tuned for that. So this is the new OSAN Black Fanta, and I'm just going to drop it in, right? There's literally zero play. There's zero play. It just sits perfectly. There's no, you know, fiddling around trying to make the screw holes match. It just sits. And this is amazing because I change my levers all the time. You know, if I get a new one in and I need to change it, for example, there's none of this fiddling around. I feel like this case just removes all the fiddling around that you would need to do on other cases. If you're someone that really tinkers with your arcade parts and levers and cases and buttons and all that stuff, you're gonna really love this, because I feel like the ASI team really did kind of think about everything when they designed this case. So again, yeah, this case is amazing for quality of life. Okay, so here we're on the ASI website. Now, to get to the V case, you need to go to shop, V case, and then it has all these parts. I'm gonna explain what most of these parts are because most of them are compatible. The one that I have is the VM6R S24 layout, right? So the S24 just means 24mm buttons. Now, if you go back, you can get S30, which means 30mm buttons, right? Or you can do Legacy, which are just, you know, your regular arcade stick layout. There's a lot of layouts you can use and choose from. Now, if we go to the Legacy layout cover, so this is the top plate. If you don't want all those extra buttons, you can choose to remove them, right? And then if we do Noir generic, that's your 8 attack buttons in a Noir layout with no extra buttons. And then Vuelix, again, your 8 attack buttons with no extra buttons. And then if you want extra buttons, you've got that. So there's so many different options, right? And then you've got your plus buttons, plus your TU button, which is the lollipop button. So it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy how many options you have. Now, it can be a little bit overwhelming in terms of how many options there are in terms of, you know, your iris stuff, your top plates and stuff. So it can be a little bit confusing at first, but I'm going to go into my layout, which is the S24, right? This circle configuration is called the iris. So I'm just going to copy the image address and zoom in a bit. So as you can see here, right, this iris supports WASD layouts or an arcade lever, right? And then you have your regular arcade button layouts. Then you have your L3R3 touchpad. You can configure it to be whatever you want, to be honest. In this lollipop, you can either have a 30mm or you can change it to be a keyboard button, which is cool if you like more that kind of mixed box style. So again, there's so many different options that you can choose from. And again, if we go back to the VM6R S24 layout, you've got your laser engravings, or WASD. So if you wanted that as an engraving, you just need to type it in, right? So there's a lot of customization with this case. I think it's just fire, like it's a fire case, right? It's so good. And I can't wait to complete my build. Okay, let's briefly talk about how this case really feels to play. Right now, I do have it on a desk. Usually I would play with it in my lap, but obviously for video and recording purposes, I plant it on a desk. Playing with it obviously normally off video or off stream, it really feels super planted. As I said before, whatever grip they're using on the bottom is ridiculous. It's insane. It does not move at all. It's insane. So yeah, the plantedness, and it's light, but it's not super light. It's light, but it's kind of heavy enough or substantial enough to be planted. It has that blend of lightness, plantedness, and sturdiness. It's really weird to describe. Now, the only other case that I know that has this property where it's like, it's light, but it's sturdy and planted is the Overdrive Neo. So they both have this kind of like characteristic where they're not super big, they're not bulky, they're not heavy, but they're very planted when you're playing with it. I'm not really sure how they're doing it. It might just be the grip technology they're using on the bottom, because I know Overdrive use felt, and then this uses kind of like a super rubber. I'm not really sure what material they're using for the bottom, but it's ridiculous. And yeah, this case is the best case that I currently own, especially for stick builds as well, because it's so modular. You can just change your layout whenever you want, right? So this is kind of a modest dream. And to be honest, I won't be changing it until I want to build another one. And actually, I'll be getting another VM6R. So I'll have two. You know, if I decided to another build, like let's say, for example, I want a white build or like a clear build, because they do black, white, and clear. Or you can actually wrap these top panels or these panels in general. You can wrap them and and really make them your own. So you can, there is that option as well. But yeah, I won't be changing this case anytime soon, to be honest. Now, the only thing that I will say that I don't like about the case, now I can't really get around it because that's just how it is and it's by design, right? Is the fingerprints. Obviously, as you can see, it is a fingerprint magnet, but at the end of the day, it's a glossy black panel. So how are you going to get around that? The one thing you can do is kind of just use white or use a different color, but I wanted an all black build. So it's like, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And to be honest, it doesn't really bother me that much. It's just something that I did notice, obviously, because I can see them clearly. My final verdict on the case is that it feels very nice in your lap. As I said before, the kind of grip on the bottom is the best I've ever used in an arcade case, right? It's crazy how much grip it actually has and how many materials it just kind of works with. Because I know a lot of arcade sticks, they do still have problems, even with the foam on the bottom, that they have issues with some materials, like they might slide around on certain pieces of clothing, whereas this VM6R, it just stays on every single surface. It's crazy, along with the kind of how light it is, and it's not too thick as well. It's like a nice blend between being like, it's not a flat box, obviously not, but it's not like a huge piece of gear. I would imagine it's very easy to travel with as well. This is definitely going to be my case for the foreseeable future. It's such a great case with loads of customization options. For me, it's really the customization options and the modularity of the case that really drew me in. I like function over aesthetic. So if there's so many different options that allow me to do so many different things, but then it has the aesthetics on top of it, why wouldn't I get the case, right? So again, the case is crazy. Let me know if you guys have a VM6R in the comment section below, and let me know your layout, because I want to, if you've got any pictures, feel free to send me, you know, Twitter links or whatever in my DMs. Send me a picture of your VM6R layout, whether it's I don't know, whether it's a stick layout, whether it's a WASD layout or a leveless layout. Let me know what you guys think about the VM6R. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.